In this video, I'm going to show you how we can design the app to solve the problem with rovarspraket problem. The problem is the following. The user enters an input. For instance, in this case, this is fun. What your app has to display is the conversion of this phrase to its equivalent one in a different language. The way it works is very simple. We go through every character of the input and we see if it is one of the consonants which is here. If it is, then we are going to duplicate the character and then we put insert an O in between. So the first character is T. We see T is here. So in the output, I'm going to have two T's and then an O between them. So I get TOT. Then I go with H. H is here. So I'm going to have HOH. An O is in between them and so forth until the end. At the end, we have to display the output using a notifier. So let's go ahead and start a new MIT app document. Let's call it, let's go back here and we are going to copy the name here and then we are going to copy the name and then I'm going to attach app after it and then click OK. Now the first thing as usual we are going to change is the title of the app. So we are going to go down and we are going just to paste the name and then an app at the end. So this is the new title here. Now again I need a horizontal layout. I'm going to change the width to be fill parent. Then I'm going to drag and drop a label here. And then I'm going to change the text to be, let's say, enter text or a string. Then in front of it, I'm going to put a text box for the text entry. Now, the next thing I need is a button and also a notifier to display the result to the user. Now I'm going to change the name of the text box to input txt. Again, I put txt at the end to signify the element which is a text box. And the button, I'm going to change the text to say convert. And then the name of the button, I'm going to change it to convert BTN. BTN stands for button. Now we are done with everything except the text box. Again, we are going to erase the hint. Now let's go and create the app. The way I'm going to do it is that I'm going to go through the input text the user enters character by character and check to see if it's one of those consonants. So I'm going to create a variable, call it first character, which means the current character. Initially, I'm going to set this character to be blank. I recreate another variable, which is going to be my consonant. And the consonant are those characters which are given here. So I'm going to copy these characters and I'm going to paste it here. Now the only thing is that these commas, I'm going to take it because if the comma is inside the input text, then it's going to say that the comma is a consonant, which is not. So I'm going to erase all these commas. Okay, so these are all the consonants that I'm dealing with. The other one I'm going to use is a temporary variable. I call it temp. And the last variable I'm going to use is the output. The output is the one that I'm going to show the user after the conversion. So we're going to start with our button, convert button, when it's clicked. So when the button is clicked, I'm going to set the output to be blank. Remember, if you don't do that, then for every entry, the converted text is going to be appended to the previous entry and it's going to be incorrect answer. So I make sure that the output is always equal to blank. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that whatever the user enters, I'm going to change it first to lowercase characters, and then I'm going to check it against the consonants. So that's why I'm going to use my temp, and I'm going to set it to lowercase characters of the input. So I'm going to use the uppercase, change it to downcase of the input characters, input text. So I'm going to take input and then I'm going to change this one to text. So this is going to be the lowercase of the input. Now I'm going to go through character by character of the input. The input now is global temp. So I'm going to go to control and I'm going to say for each. Instead of number, I'm going to change the name to index. I'm going to start from the first character, but I'm going to go until the end. The end of the input is going to be the length. So I'm going to find the length and the length of not input text. I'm going to find the length of temp. So I'm going to go and get the length of temp and I'm going to go character by character. Now, for every character, I'm going to set that character inside this variable. It's much easier. So I'm going to set global character to be the segment. So I'm going to go and get this block out. Now the segment is going to be from temp. So I'm going to go to temp and I'm going to say get. The start is my index and the length obviously is 1. Now this means that this character is going to have the current character of the text one by one. Now I'm going to check this character to see if it is inside this consonant. So to check that if it's inside, I'm going to use the contains block. So I'm going to say if my text is again temp. So, oh no, my text now is the consonant. So I'm going to say if consonant contains that character. Okay, so I'm going to get the character here. If the consonant, which is here, contains this character, then I have to join it to my to my output with a double of that character with an O in between. So I'm going to go to text, then I'm going to join, and I'm going to join the output. So I'm going to get an output with this character O between a copy of the character twice. So I'm going to need to have 3 of these. So I'm going to get the output, then I'm going to join it with the character, again duplicate with the character, and then an O between them. So duplicate, and I'm going to bring this one, and I'm going to put an O between. Now I'm going to set this one to my output. So I'm going to say set output to be the previous output plus the character, then an O, and then again the character. What about if this character is not a consonant? Then I'm going to say else. I'm going to have the same thing here, but this time I'm not going to do any duplication. I just add it to the output so I can take these sockets out. So I go here and I'm going to take these out. So this is going to be the case when the character is a consonant, and this is the case that the character is not a consonant. Now the only thing I have to do is to use the notifier and display the converted text. So I put one here. Now my title goes here, the text for the button goes here. Now the title for the notifier, I'm going to go here and I'm going just to copy the text here, put it here, and then add app. The message is going to be my output. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to get a copy of this block, bring it here and put it here. And that's the app that we are looking for. I've already started my emulator, so let's try it. The first example, this is fun. So let's go and check it against. For this is fun, this has to be my output. You can see that it is exactly the same output as what we have here. Another example, let's say I type ics2o0. Let's see what we get. This is the converted version of ics2o0.